We have Victor White III's parents here, Pastor Victor White Jr. and his wife, which is Vanessa White. She probably may have had to step out.
Children were here.
The children were here, yeah. The children were here. You've heard of that situation that took place in New Iberia about 14 months ago, where Victor III was, in the process, it was handcuffed, and yet at the same time, there's a bullet in his chest, and the reports are that he shot himself. It was suicide rather than homicide.
Several times.
Exactly. And of course, law enforcement will not treat it as a hate crime or in any way give it national exposure, because they are saying it was a suicide, not a homicide. So because they know if the truth really comes out, it becomes a cause célèbre, it becomes treated in the media, and the nation becomes angry and really upset about it. So this family is bearing the brunt of a tremendous injustice. This family is agonizing the loss of a son, of a brother, a relative, a friend, that in many ways the system is not being challenged, and justice is not being challenged because the law enforcement community still wants to relegate the death as suicide rather than homicide. So we need to hear from this family. We need to hear from them what not only how they see the current situation with the justice system, but also what they really feel in their hearts happened, and needing our support, needing us to be a voice, to be a voice for the voiceless in many ways, to be the strength of the weak. Then let's hear from Pastor Victor White Jr., the father of Vic III.
Amen. Amen.
On behalf of my family, we really appreciate y'all. Really appreciate the opportunity. On March the 3rd, they said my son initially shot himself in the back. That was the initial report was. But on August 25th, when all drops had come back, they said my son was shot in the right side of his chest while he was handcuffed behind his back. But he's left-handed. So they patted him down twice. He was searched twice, placed in a police car. In the initial stop, they said he was involved in a fight. He wasn't in a fight. He was at the store. The fight took place. We saw the video. They said it wasn't a video, but we actually saw the video. But my son was inside the store at the time that the fight had taken place outside the store. So I even called the sheriff to see if they had my son in custody. They told me no. So I called the detention facility to see if they had my son. They told me no. And then the next day, we got a call from one of my sons in New Iberia saying that a detective just left him and said that his brother was dead. They would not tell us how my son died. No, they would not tell us initially. They wouldn't allow me to see his body. They would not allow me, my wife, and none of us to see his body.
Your son?
They would not allow us to see his body. But then when they did determine that we'd be able to see the body, they told us that it had to be a stipulation. I would only be able to see him from the neck up. And we get an opportunity, but only one person could go back there and see my son. Yeah, so when I went back and I saw my son, I saw him in his face, he was beaten. I knew he was beaten. He had a mark from the top of his left eyebrow, went all the way below his jawbone, his left side of his jaw. And I could see his face. His lips were swollen. I could see all this happen. So when I asked investigators how did it happen, they said they couldn't tell me anything. We got no information, none. But when we drove back from Iberia, Louisiana, to Alexandria, Louisiana, I got a phone call, said look on the Louisiana State Troopers website, and they had a press release regarding my son's death. And that's how we found out. They said that my son committed suicide. Said he had become uncooperative at the police station. And then he said they produced a small handgun and shot himself one time in the back. He was a fatal shot. And as of today, we still have no information. We don't know who the officers were involved. We attempted to get the information through the Freedom of Information Act. We've been denied. We've been denied every, through the attorney, we have Attorney Carol Nixon, as well as Attorney Benjamin Crump. Every avenue we turn to, we still get denied or turned away. So that's why we're asking you all on October the 17th, 2015, 11 o'clock in Iberia, Louisiana. We're going to do a protesting rally. We're asking those to come out and support us, stand with us. You know, not just for my son, because we see it happening all over the world. You know, I just question, you know, it ponders my heart that there was Eric Garner, Mike Brown. We've had conversations, Chevy Scott. We've had conversation with some of those individuals. Jordan Davis, we've had conversation with those individuals. But to notice that my son's name is not even mentioned.
That's right.
Every time we mention it, my son happened before Mike Brown, before Eric Garner, before the South Carolina, before Baltimore. My son was there. But we don't hear his name. It does not every time they mention it. You know, we've had national exposure, but we need to come together as a community right here. It's happening at home. It's just happening at home. And so that's my family that we're actually actually I have 9 kids. And that was the big, we call him the big dog, my youngest son. But he was the life of the family. That's why I know he couldn't commit suicide, John. He was raised in the church. They were junior deacons as far back as they could remember. They could actually, well, he was the so-called me. You know, the family. So he could imitate me, supposedly. But, you know, he played the drums. He was very intelligent, very smart. And our belief, our spiritual belief, you don't commit suicide. So that's what I said. And I talked to him Sunday. I talked to him that Sunday. He was going to buy a car. He had the money to get his apartment. He was getting ready to move the girlfriend and the baby there. See, so now for a while, within 24 hours, something changed. You know, he was working there, completed the fast. He was getting ready to go to a community college to become a welder. So he wanted to weld offshore. So I mean, he had goals. He had achieved some goals, and now he was achieving other goals. So why would he take a life at 21 years old? Yeah. See, so I really appreciate this opportunity and continue to